episode of the Coaching Cast podcast is brought to you in partnership with the brilliant Soulfully Single, founded by Julie Wild. Soulfully Single is the supportive, fun and empowering community for sociable singles who want to grow in confidence, reconnect with themselves and others, and use their single time to be the next best version of themselves. Soulfully Single aims to ease loneliness through community, connection and personal growth. So if you find yourself recently single or know someone who is, head over to www.soulfullysingle.co.uk to download a free workbook to help you heal and move on after the end of a relationship, or join one of the feel-good monthly coffee meetups.
Hello, I'm Suzy.
And I'm Lisa. And this is the Coaching Cast. We are the No Nonsense podcast, chatting about the things impacting you at work right now, helping you to survive and thrive in today's workplace.
We discuss different topics each episode, sharing our ideas, hints and top tips from our experience of working in the corporate world, running our own businesses, and also being qualified coaches. We also try to have a few laughs along the way too, because taking yourself too seriously, well, it's just boring. We hope you enjoy listening. Today's episode is a little different from usual. It's our festive special. Woo! We're going to be getting into the holiday spirit on the Coaching Cast, sprinkling some laughter, seasonal cheer, and alongside a sleigh bell or two. So stay with us and enjoy. So, Lisa, tell me about that festive attire you've got on there. What is that hat? Is that a roast dinner on a hat?
It is a full-on turkey roast dinner with all the trimmings. It's amazing. I've got sprouts. I've got carrots. I've even got, these are supposed to be pigs in blankets. They look like little candy canes, but they're actually pigs in blankets, yeah. And my peas, and obviously the piece de resistance, the turkey. It's absolutely brilliant, isn't it?
That's so good. What an accessory, a festive accessory right there.
I know, I absolutely love it. It's brilliant. I mean, yeah, it's fantastic. I love my Christmas dinner as a hat. I haven't got my festive jumper on this year because I felt like, all the focus had to really be centered onto the incredible headwear.
I mean, it's quite a centerpiece.
That's
for sure.
I believe it is. I'm glad you appreciate it. I'm very happy with it.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
Absolutely love it.
I don't think if anyone's watching the Coasting Cast, they can appreciate it. Sit back because we can't quite see.
Okay.
There it is. Beautiful. I'm loving the sequins, especially on the jumper as well.
Yeah, so I'm wearing a sequined Christmas festive jumper. I've got another jumper, which is also very sequin heavy on the Christmas situation, but I wore that last year in our Christmas special episode.
I love the fact you got two.
Yeah, I got two, guys, so I'm just going to mix it up. So yeah, I wore the other one today. And also on my head, I've got some Santa hats, Suzy's Santa hats.
They're very cute.
As a little headband that I've got over my headphones. So I've got my Santa sleigh bells as well. Let's just give them a little.
Oh, you can hear them, Suze. Put them up to the mic. No, we still can't hear them. I don't know why they don't come through.
What do you mean?
You can't hear them on the mic. I don't know why. They don't pick up. Maybe they're like, maybe the shrillness or the pitch is like the microphone's like, nah, not carrying that through.
I mean, I bought these specially. What do you mean?
No. Every now and then you get like this little chink, but it's not particularly loud. What a letdown. I actually thought your sleigh bells were broken. So
no, the sleigh bells are fully functioning this end.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I'm having a great time.
Ding, 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 ding.
So
that's my sleigh bell impression.
We'll need to bleep in some like sleigh bells.
Okay, I'll try and work magic on the edit. So like, if I can add in some sleigh bells, I will do.
So yeah, this is our holiday special. So this is our little festive special episode. So before we get into it, let's talk a little bit more about the holidays. So what's your favorite thing about the holiday season, Lisa?
I have always loved the build up to Christmas.
Yes.
I think most people do, don't they? Who loves actually Christmas Day? I mean,
No.
I do enjoy Christmas Day, but I mean, I'm sure like many of us, it's a tense day, like tense. It's tense and intense. But I love the build up. I love everything about what happens through the month of December because it's the anticipation of the day, which is kind of ironic. It's like the anticipation is there as we build up, as we collect gifts and we attend all the events that happen and you see the lights. And I love Christmas lights and I love all the festivities that build up. And I've always loved the socializing around Christmas. And it all builds up to this day that nearly all of us as adults now know is a bit much and that we're all knackered for. And it's like, isn't that funny? Like, even every year it happens to me, I think, where I'm like, I'm having a great time, this is great, and it's all building. And then Christmas Day is always just such an intensity of like, get the dinner organized, make sure everything's great, make sure everyone gets on, have we got everything, did everyone like their presents, what am I wearing, you know, who's hosting, if you are the host, you know, is everything sorted? It's madness. I don't know a single person really that goes on about how much they love the day itself. They all pretty much, because I mean, I think my favorite day is Christmas Eve. I just love Christmas Eve. I love everything about Christmas Eve. But yeah, Christmas Day is a bit much. And then it is my birthday on the 27th of December. So anyone who knows me knows that I turn into such a brat on my birthday. Because I don't enjoy it at all.
She's not a fan of her
no,
own
I don't enjoy
birthday.
it. And it is because it's always felt like it's been shoehorned in to the end of the year and that there's not really any room for it. And I think it's also because I find Christmas so a bit much. So I'm like everyone else by the 27th of December. I'm bloated. I'm severely hungover. I'm massively dehydrated and probably have liver pain. So like I don't particularly want to do it all again on the 27th either. So, you know, it's like I don't feel my best on my birthday. I think that's probably it. I never feel my best on my birthday. So that doesn't help with the mood. Especially because this year is the big 4-0. So like I'm turning 40 this year, which I can't really get my head around. And I thought this year I was doing a really good job of being open-minded about turning 40. And actually what I've come to realize is I've just stuck my head in the sand and pretending it's not happening, which is not the same thing. That's avoidance. So actually it was someone I was speaking to last week who is also turning 40 but not till July next year. You know, it's that age old, we would have been in the same school year.
Yeah.
How the tables have turned, because I am no longer the smug one who's celebrating the fact that they're older first and can hop down to the pub legally. I'm now whinging that they've got a whole pretty much year before me, before they turn 40. But they've got lots of plans for their 40th and they were inspiring me about how I need to make more of it this year. So
yeah, definitely. It's a milestone that we are privileged to get to.
And as my best friend Siobhan says, getting old is the goal. And she gave that to me last year when I was starting to already feel nervous about turning 40. This is what I mean. I was 38. So yeah, I've started to think a bit more carefully about how am I going to celebrate 2024 as my 40th year. And that's the other thing I'm acknowledging, that it's not just about the 27th of December, that I can carry on the celebrations into next year. So yeah, but what about you? What do you love most about this time of year? What's your favourite bit?
Well, actually, I have to say the same as you. And we haven't prepped this, but it is the same. It's that build up, the twinkly lights. I think the magic of that month, and especially of Christmas Eve. That kind of like everyone being really cozy and kind of snuggly inside with lots of blankets and twinkling lights and like a fire roaring somewhere, watching Christmas films, eating kind of food that you wouldn't normally eat throughout the rest of the year. So yeah, I think it's that kind of real kind of slow down. And actually I think nature reflects that as well. And I over the last few years, I think started to appreciate how like nature changes a little bit more over the year and into the seasons. And I think for Christmas as well, there's something I really enjoy about like a wintry walk, and especially on Christmas Day, and that kind of being outside, and it's quite, you know, cold and maybe a little bit bleak, and then you come inside and then it's the opposite of that. Like I really love that kind of like change, and that kind of difference. So yeah, I just love the whole thing about it. I'm really excited to get into the build up and onto the big day. The big day itself, yeah, I'm the same. It's not like as exciting, but I've got a child now, so it's different. Like
I was about to say,
he's at the age now where
it's different.
We've been talking about Christmas since Halloween, basically.
Yeah.
Like he's onto it already. It's like on to the next thing. He's already like, why have we not got the tree up? Why? Like he was watching Shaun the Sheep Christmas like 6 weeks ago. Like he's fully embraced onto the festive season. That's for sure.
And that is where, like, you know, the power of advertising and the retail sector, because they've totally hooked Arthur in, as they do all kids, I think. But I do think having a child definitely, you know, makes a difference, because you can get involved so much more in the real true fun naivety of Christmas, which we all got to benefit from as children, and we don't normally have. I mean, the other thing we haven't mentioned, I mean, you've obviously decked yourself out in sequins, but this is the other reason this time of the year is so great. Sequins, an excuse to wear velvet everything. I'm obsessed with velvet. I love a velvet anything. So
bougie.
I know, I do love a bit of velvet. So yeah, my velvet black 2-piece comes out for its one outing of the year, because it never feels appropriate really to wear it any other time of the year. It's not the sort of thing you wear in the middle of the summer. Well, actually you could in this country because it's always freezing, but generally no. So I can't wait to wear my little velvet 2-piece. So I'm already thinking about it. But yeah, you know, it's those types of things. You can wear loads of glitz at this time of year.
Yeah, love a bit of glitz.
Love a bit of sparkle. I wore a sparkly jumper out last night. I was like, fabulous.
Love it. I love a hat as well. Like
I'm obsessed with bobble hats.
A bobble hat, or even like a nice fedora hat. I love a hat.
You look nice in those kind of things. I look a little bit odd in a fedora. It's something about the glasses combo. I look more like I'm about to go on some sort of archaeological dig. Whereas I think you look like you're off to Cheltenham races. I've seen you in Cheltenham races in your photographs looking fabulous in a fedora. I think I look like, I'm about to go on an archaeological dig. It's not for me. I also look like my dad, because my dad loves a hat, and he particularly likes, I don't know what you call it. It's not a fedora. They probably look more like the sort of hat that maybe Mick Dundee wore in Crocodile Dundee, one of my all-time favourite films. He tends to wear those. So if I suddenly put a hat on, I just look like Robin Terry. Now, that's no disrespect to my dad, who I adore.
Yeah, we are big fans of Robin Terry on the Coaching Cast. He's been on an episode.
He is, but yeah, I don't really want to look like my dad. So yeah, not so much.
Well, fair enough. I tell you, the one thing I'm not looking forward to over the festive season is I've got to get that flipping elf out come on the 1st.
Oh God, you're doing Elf on the Shelf.
Hide him in various locations. Anyway, but I could do a whole other episode on that. So let's not get into that. Right. Cool. Okay, let's get into it. So CB Wiz, as we have said, today's episode is a bit different because it's the holidays and we are getting into the festive spirit. So to kick us off with this special episode, we have the Coaching Cast Advent Calendar. Okay, so brace yourselves. Behind each door is one of our favourite moments of the Coaching Cast from 2023. So Lisa, do you want to get going? Do you want to pick a number and see what is behind the door? Right, okay. So there's a number between 1 and 25, yeah? 24.
25. 24. Yeah. 25. 25. 24, sorry. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go with my lucky number, which is 9.
9. Okay.
What is behind door number 9?
Door number 9. Okay, got it here. Let's have a little look. Okay, behind door number 9 is when Suzy wore crystals down her top, and you realized that this is something that I do. And this was in episode 78 last month in October, when we talked about emotional awareness at work. So if you haven't listened to this episode, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? one of your favorite moments, from what I gather then, is when you found out that I like to put crystals down my top. And actually, they are in place this morning. As I speak, I have got some crystals down my top. That is true.
So do you just wear them all the time now?
Yeah, I pretty much do, actually. Yeah.
What, one in each cup?
No, I just put them down my top, like just, yeah, all three of them. They're only
Oh,
small.
there's three. There's three.
Three.
Did I know there
Yeah.
was three? Okay. I just think this is hilarious. I think I learn something new about you every time we record an episode of the coaching cast. You are the gift that keeps on giving, Suzy. So my favorite Christmas gift, isn't that what every Christmas gift should be? Never ending. That's you.
Absolutely.
You always come up with some, I mean, I'm going to say this now and it feels so apt. You always come up with a real gem, literally, these days.
Love it.
So yeah, so they're only small, they're not heavy. Do you feel like you jangle? Do you jingle jangle?
I do jingle jangle a little bit, yeah. And sometimes I've like had it where I've been walking around and one just like falls out and I'm like, oh, there's my crystal. Like, I need to I don't wear them out the house. I tend to wear them just in the house. I mean, the CBs, people who listen to it, I think I'm absolutely nuts. Yeah, I'm quite into crystals and energy and things like that. So that's why I do it.
Cool. Which particular minerals do you have knocking about in there at the moment?
Minerals. I've got some amethyst in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good old amethyst.
I've got some rose quartz in there.
Oh, that's a stunner. I love a rose
absolutely.
quartz.
And I've got a blue one. I can't remember what the blue one is. But yeah, they're the three. They
Bit of lapis lazuli. Is that a blue one?
Maybe, yeah.
Is it lapis lazuli that's blue?
Yeah.
I mean, I should know this sort of thing. One of my godparents was really into healing, crystal healing especially.
Yeah.
And when I was a child, I suffered really horrendously with migraines. And she used to tuck certain crystals under my pillow when I was having a migraine. Now, I'm not going to lie. As a 10-year-old or a 9-year-old, I was quite a lot younger, I think, actually. When you're in the deep throes of agony, someone shoving a pebble under your pillow doesn't really feel like the reassuring care and solution that you're really imagining at that point, as well as the fact that she was obsessed with lavender, and lavender to this day, the smell of it makes me want to hurl.
I'm not keen on lavender smell.
So it used to be like I'd be lying writhing in pain thinking my head was about to explode. And you know what it's like when you're a kid? Pain is on another level when you're a kid because it feels bigger than you.
Yeah.
So
of course.
yeah, having some, my godparent who, bless her, I'm very fond of her, but shoving a rock under my pillow and scattering lavender all over me, it didn't, surprisingly, unfortunately, it didn't fix the migraine. Yeah. So let's just put it down to the fact that maybe there was more power in the migraine and the little pebble couldn't counteract it. But yeah. I like the theory. And not so much I like the fact that we could probably pick you up and shake you and you would jingle jangle.
I would jingle jangle and like lots of little like stones would fall out. Anyway, there's quite an image for you. And listen, when it comes to my physical health, I need all the help I can get.
I know. So, I like the fact that you try anything.
I'm trying anything at this point. Anyway, right.
Okay, cool. That was number 9.
One now.
Yeah, you pick one.
Okay, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with number 18.
Cool.
Okay. I don't know why.
What is behind door number 18?
It's a good one. Okay, and I know this is a favorite moment for both of us as well. Okay. So listeners, this is when we did our episode and live event with Nathan Whitbread.
Oh yes.
On neurodiversity at work, which was back in March. Oh my goodness, that feels like it was literally like last week. That was season 7, episode 6. And it was our special episode we did with Nathan on neurodiversity at work. And then we subsequently did a live event. Well, Lisa did a live event with him in the summer because I wasn't very well.
You weren't very well, no.
Join. But oh my goodness me, I absolutely adore Nathan and I adored this episode. I'll tell you why I adored it so much. I think because this is a topic which rightly so has kind of had a lot of focus and has kind of risen in people wanting to understand more. And I include myself in that, actually. And our conversation with Nathan, I learned a huge amount about neurodiversity, how that can come through in the workplace. And he shared some really interesting hints and tips. He talked about some of his own experiences as well. And I know that came through in the live event in particular. I adored this episode. I really, really enjoyed it, and the subject, and also him as well. I found him incredibly interesting and engaging. Lisa, what were your thoughts? Why was this one of your kind of top moments? Because I know it is.
I think for many of the reasons that you've said, but I think like having all of our guests on, I guess, it's what you learn through having them join, and their expertise and their insights and their experiences. And I think Nathan is a really humble, down to earth, very genuine individual. So I'm always naturally drawn to those sorts anyway. But I think how he explained neurodiversity and what it means and how it comes to life and some of the challenges and how we can all be much more, I think, open-minded and appreciative of one another. And not to mention the fact that, like, I think too often those who are classified as neurodivergent have been mislabeled as less than or awkward or difficult or different. And there's this always, I think, sense of not being capable, when actually the opposite is true of all of those things. And I think that's becoming more and more accepted and recognized now, especially with those neurodiverse traits like dyslexia, because so many of our most incredible entrepreneurs and innovators are dyslexic. And I'd like to hope that we're moving more in that space of understanding and acceptance and appreciation for the other neurodiverse traits as well. But I do think having Nathan join us and sharing his story and his perspective and his work that he's doing as the neurodivergent coach was really insightful and just really opened up a very important conversation. And I think those are the sorts of conversations we should always be having to raise our awareness and educate ourselves and help us to connect with one another better. Because I think really the message from Nathan was we're actually all different. Everyone's unique. And it should be about how do we accommodate all of that, whether you're neurodiverse or not. And I think even what he was saying was actually technically we're all neurodiverse because of how we all think differently and behave differently. So no, it was a really great episode, and the event was brilliant, and it was so great having all of you who attended on that event joining us and adding to the conversation, sharing your own experiences of neurodiversity, whether you were a neurodivergent yourself or not. So no, it was really brilliant. I loved that episode.
Yeah, I did as well. Thanks, Nathan, for coming on.
Thank you so much, Nathan. You're always welcome back.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, right. Let's go again then.
Okay.
Lisa, one more number, please.
One more number. I'm going to go with, what number should I go with? Let's go with 14.
14. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Let me find the 14 drawer and open this up. Okay. You'll see why I'm laughing in a second. Okay, number 14 is learning that I own and have a walking pole. And that was the episode back in March on self-sabotage, season 7, episode 5. I'm giving you, like you said, I'm like the gift that keeps on giving.
You are, yeah. I mean, there's been so many shockers from you this year. This is another hilarious one. I'm like, I take the mick out of people for having walking poles. But at least they are of an age range where it feels like it may be a great safety decision. But you're in your 30s and you have a walking pole.
Well, mine is a safety decision, I'll be honest. It's because I don't like walking down slopes. So if I go out on a walk, and I do love going for walks and like being in nature and stuff, but I'm not very good at walking down a slope, like a gradient, you know, slope.
Yeah, but like, what are we talking about here? Because you don't hike, like you don't like climbing mountains or even steep hills. So I literally envisage you going down what I would classify as like a mound or a hump with a walking stick to stop you from falling over because you get such bad vertigo on like the lowest gradient that's possible.
Well, I took right, I'll bring this to life for you. So when I went for a walk in Macclesfield Forest, which I did with my husband. Now that is a story I don't know if I've brought to the coaching cast. I need to remember that next time we do an episode.
Right, that's coming up for the next episode in the new year, clearly. Let's start January with that story.
But anyway, Macclesfield Forest is beautiful, but it's like rocky terrain. Like it's, you know, that's where I utilize my walking pole. Rocky terrain when it's like downhill and it's not like a path, a well-trodden path, because we don't like walk the obvious path when I go walking with my husband because that's boring. We have to go like off the beaten track. That's when I use my walking pole, is in that moment.
Realistically though, is the walking pole going to do when you're going, if you started to slip?
It's in my mind.
Okay,
it's in my mind.
Okay, fine. So it gives you some sort of
reinforces like my balance in my mind. Oh yeah, it's not going to physically do anything for me. It's all about in my mind.
I can just literally see you slightly slipping and then swinging off this pole. But you and I met up at Delamere last year. It was Delamere Forest.
Yeah, it was
in Cheshire,
Delamere.
wasn't it? Last year, right?
Yeah.
There were some slopes then. You didn't have your walking pole.
No, the walking pole wouldn't come out with Delamere because I'd be like, I've got this, that's fine. It's pretty much flat. It's if, you know, I go on a random, I don't know, like uncategorized hike where it's got the, you know, opportunity for there to be like, yeah, I can't really describe.
So when you come and visit me in Cape Town, there's zero chance of getting you up Table Mountain, isn't there?
I'd be bringing my walking pole, that's for sure. Yeah.
I don't think you'd get on the plane. They wouldn't let it through security. It'd be classified as a lethal weapon in South Africa.
Well, I'd be buying one on Amazon and sending it to you. Let's put it like that way.
Right,
like,
I'm telling you now, the postal service in South Africa doesn't exist. We'll have to just buy you one when we're in South Africa.
All right, I'll do the walk without my walking pole.
I mean, to be fair, don't worry, because I don't come down again on Table Mountain. I climb Table Mountain and then I get the cable car down after a pint of beer in the bar.
Okay.
So don't you worry.
That's what we're talking about. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, right. Again, another classic from you this
classic
season.
This year.
You've had loads, right?
I know. Okay. Oh my gosh. CB was thinking like, who is Suzy? I mean, yeah, I think we're beyond that anyway now. That's fine. Okay, right. I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna go with number 23.
Cool. 23.
Okay. What is behind? Oh, is it another Suzy? Oh my God, it is another Suzy thing.
Oh, this is my other favourite one. Actually, I've nearly stopped being friends with you for this, I think, if it's the one I think it is.
Oh, honestly, this is not like, this is actually like accidental. Like this is not.
It's the Suzy Christmas special.
Because I am literally not seeing any good benefits from this. Right. It's learning that Suzy doesn't like sourdough.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I knew this is it. This is like a travesty. I still haven't got over this. I'm still reeling.
Yeah, that's true.
What is your bread of choice then? If you haven't joined the, like, you know, woke society like I'm in, where we now just eat avocado and sourdough like daily, obviously. What do you eat as a bread type then? And do you just not eat sourdough? What bread would you choose?
If I had the choice, I like a nice soft focaccia.
Oh, for God's sake. Yes. I love focaccia as well, but what about for breakfast? You're not telling me you like crack open the rosemary sea salt focaccia for your eggs?
No, I would just have sliced bread. Like, is that
sliced bread?
Have a slice
oh God, not like a
loaf.
What, like
is
a
that
Warburton?
Not... Yeah, like a
or a Hovis.
I mean, other brands are available. Like, I like a seeded loaf. Yeah, a wholemeal seeded loaf.
Wholemeal seeded. Bloody hell, that's controversial.
I know. Like, I'm really controversial in my bread choices.
I like a granary, but I mean a wholemeal. Wholemeal is like, oh God.
Yeah.
I'd rather just have a white piece of bread and like clog up my arteries than waste it on a wholemeal loaf.
Yeah. No, I do. Maybe I'm just really boring in my bread choices.
Well,
but
no, clearly not, because you love a focaccia. That was the
I
first
like a
thing you said.
focaccia.
I love focaccia as
Absolutely.
well.
But I'm just not into a sourdough. And this is why I don't like a sourdough, because I find it too crunchy. So if I had an avocado on toast, I would just spend all of it going, this is really too, like, it's too much of a chew. Like, it's too crunchy. That's why I'm not
You
into
really
sourdough.
are a nana. Like, that's the sort of thing my 90-year-old nan would
I
come
know.
out with while she's
know.
holding onto a walking stick.
I know. That, and she's got some crystals down her top.
Well, that's probably a step too far for my nan, to be honest. I don't think she'd go that far. But yeah. Oh,
I know.
God.
I am, literally.
Hey, look, you do you. You're breaking boundaries over there. You're not following the mold of the
No.
what are we? Are we we're millennials, aren't we? We're a millennial. Yeah. You're not following the
I'm a
the millennial
millennial.
trait. Yes, I'm a millennial as well, actually, Suzy. Maybe when I hit 40 this later this month, no longer. But I'm pretty certain I'm still a millennial. I think it's based on the years you were born. I'm a millennial.
Yeah, no, it is. So we are millennials. So yeah, guys, follow me if you want some walking pole, granary, wholemeal, seeded, sliced fun. I'm your person, with a few crystals added in for good measure. Anyway, oh gosh, I'm not coming out very well on this episode. Right, let's do one more. Okay, one more, Lisa.
Okay, let's go for 3.
3. Okay.
Yeah. Hit me with 3.
Door number 3. Oh, okay. This isn't related to me. Thank goodness. Okay. Right. This is one from me, actually. I put this into my favorite moments. And this was our episode back in April, which was on storytelling at work.
Oh,
Season 7, episode 10. So I chose this episode because I am a massive fan of storytelling. And I think we talked about this. I talked about this in that particular episode, which was around the power, the simplicity of it. Again, I'm quite a simple soul, as we've uncovered through this episode. So I find storytelling really, really powerful, both in terms of listening and also when I use it in my work as well. So I use it a lot in my training. I use it quite a lot in my coaching as well. And I just love the power of storytelling. And we talked in this episode about the power of it, the use of it. I also shared somebody I work with who is very, very good at storytelling, and they still are captivating in their storytelling abilities. I think we even started this episode off telling a story, which again didn't put me in great light, which was about when I went to soft play. If you want to know about that particular story, go and listen to the episode. It's from April this year. You'll find it in our back catalogue.
I think it's called The Lesson of the Story is Don't Go to Soft Play.
It is.
I think that is what it's called. Yeah, you should definitely listen to it. For another gem from Suzy this year.
Another gem.
She's had a solid year. Solid. Absolutely solid. There's been some crackers.
Right.
What are you going to bring out next year? You're under pressure now.
I've peaked.
You've peaked. Yeah. I think you might have. No, I'm joking.
No,
there's still more to come. Still sure.
Yes. So yeah, that was why I chose that episode. I love that episode. I love the topic and just reflecting on the power of storytelling. So yeah, go and check that one out. Okay. So they are our Advent doors that we've chosen on the Coaching Cast calendar. Yeah, I feel like I might regret this feature, but anyway, let's move swiftly on.
So, on each episode of the Coaching Cast, we feature Bullshit Bingo. This is where all of you who listen to this show will know that we call out work phrases that make you, us, all of us collectively cringe. And today is no exception. As it is our festive special, we're doing our favourite bullshit bingos from 2023. So, Suze, go. What's your favourite bullshit bingo so far?
All right, I'm just going to go straight in with the one I've chosen. There were a few in the mix. I have gone with headwinds.
I don't know what. For some reason, I had this instinct you were going to go with headwinds.
That's because we're just, so connected.
Headwinds was a good one, to be fair. I mean, I still can't imagine it in a work context. And now, if anyone ever said it to me, I think I'd laugh out loud. It just sounds so ridiculous. It's so dramatic. Headwinds.
So dramatic.
So dramatic.
Again, I love I've realized that when it comes to bullshit bingos, right, the more like abstract, the more weird they are, the more like, where would you even use that in what context? I adore them. I'm like, yes, these are my favorite, best bullshit bing. It's like triage. Like, I keep coming back to it, but when would you ever use that? Like, if you don't work in a healthcare setting, like you just wouldn't. Like, it's just bizarre. So anyway, that's why I chose headwinds, because I just adore it. Again, love it. It's good. Just so bizarre.
It is a good one. Okay, so you've picked headwinds. I've chosen let's car park this.
Oh, classic.
Because it's just so reminiscent of my experience working in corporate and literally having a car park on a whiteboard where we used to shove all the stuff to hold and come back to, in inverted commas, let's be quite frank, that were just shit, and we just weren't upfront with one another to say it was a crap idea.
And we never did.
No, we never went back to it.
It never saw the light of day again.
No, that piece of flip chart paper, like I'm sure everyone will agree who listens to this, whatever happens, there is a flip chart paper graveyard that sits collectively, I'm sure, in business parks across the country who still have working offices that people go into. If people still even use bloody flip chart paper, doesn't everyone love a virtual whiteboard now or something fancy?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Flip charts. I mean, the power of holding that pen and flipping over that piece of paper.
Love it.
Not to mention the fact that there's nothing more I think there's nothing more of an indicator of progress and productivity than multiple pieces of flip chart paper. You want to come out of one of those meetings where you've been for like probably 3 hours when half an hour would have done it, with like a huge roll of multiple sheets of flip chart paper and everyone looking at you like, what productive session. One of those was your car park that was full of stuff that like Greg offered that was shit, because Greg never knew how to offer a good idea and that would never see the light of day again. I think I always took control of those flip chart pieces of paper. The amount of them I used to just walk around like some sort of like budding architect, like in the 80s, like budding architect,
rolled up under your arm, like, look at me and how productive I am. I mean, I love a flip chart. If you ever come to a workshop run by Suzy, you will leave with multiple flip chart papers.
Brilliant.
But like the car park situation, love it. It's a classic phrase. Let's
car park this. And I mean, like, I'd go as far as to say I think I have my own set of pens, especially for my flip chart work.
Amazing.
And I'd be the one to took responsibility of transferring it over into some sort of like digital format, put it in a pack. I think the car park actually used to like feature in that, but just to placate Greg so that he felt like he'd been understood.
Oh, poor Greg. I feel like Greg's being victimized here. We don't even know who Greg is, but anyway.
There we go. So they're our favourite bullshit bingos of the year. Now, ordinarily, we would select one to crown our Christmas tree, but we're going to do something a bit different this year. We really want your help to crown our bullshit bingo Christmas tree. So look out on our Instagram account, which is at _coaching_cast, where we will be running a poll over the coming weeks to capture your favourite bullshit bingo of 2023. And we will select the leading favourite to be our star for our tree. So keep an eye out on our Instagram account, on our stories, and take your vote when you see the post.
Yeah. Get involved.
Let's crown this Christmas tree of ours.
We are coming to the end of this special episode, and we hope we've got you into the festive mood, although my sleigh bells haven't worked, so maybe not.
I don't know.
It's gone really well, hasn't it, for me, this episode? Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, check out our Christmas party episode from last year, 2022, and all the other episodes we've mentioned today. They are available to listen to wherever you get your podcasts. CBeebies, we know you are really busy, but it would mean the world to us if you could give us a little holiday gift by rating, reviewing, and subscribing to the Coaching Cast wherever you listen. It helps the podcast more than you know, and it means you also don't have to worry about remembering to download it either.
So we always finish our episodes of the Coaching Cast with a song to get you in the mood for the day ahead. So as it is our Christmas special today, our own little Christmas office party, we're going to conclude today's episode with our favourite Christmas songs, obviously. So I have chosen for today a very special Christmas song for me. I remember this so vividly when it came out. I remember the video, I remember everything, and I still love it. And that is Spice Girls, When Two Become One.
Oh, it's such a classic tune.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Love it. Absolutely. And I have chosen Driving Home for Christmas by Chris Rea. Again, I absolutely love it. It's a classic banger of a tune. And I will be driving south this year for Christmas. So it's also very literal for me. I will be driving home. So
lovely.
yeah, I love it. It's one of my most favourite festive, fun tunes. So get it on. If you're working now and you're listening to this, or you're on your dog walk or whatever, listen to the end, obviously, and then whack it on. Get some festive tunes on.
Followed by Two Become One. Because what surely can be better than following Chris Rea with that? So we will be back with another brand new episode of the Coaching Cast in January, featuring this time a very special guest. We are welcoming Charlotte Holroyd from Creative Wilderness to the show, who will be sharing her inspiring, purpose-driven story of business freedom with us, which should be really interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be a great episode for January when we're all feeling a little bit blue, maybe a little bit like it's January, it's grey, it's dark, summer feels a really long way away. This is going to be an incredibly inspiring story, so make sure you download and tune into that episode in January. So thanks for listening, CBeebies. Happy holidays, and remember, you've got this.